Most players use the for 3-3 false 9 like a normal for 3-3, and that's exactly why it fails in H2H. This formation isn't about pace, it's about movement, timing, and dragging defenders out of position. If you don't understand that, it feels weak, but when you use it properly, it becomes one of the smartest attacking systems in the game. Yo, gentle gamers, today I'm showing you how to actually dominate with the for 3-3 false 9. The best player profiles, the attacking patterns, the defensive shape, and the exact build-up mechanics that make it dangerous in FC Mobile 26. Let's break it down. First, let me show you why this formation is actually so dangerous in H2H. Most players completely misunderstand it. They think it's just a for 3-3 with a striker up front. But the CF dropping, the midfield movement, the way your wingers cut inside, all of that creates space, overloads the midfield, and keeps defenders guessing. If you understand this, every player choice and attack you make suddenly makes sense. Here's exactly why the for 3-3 false 9 works. Movement creates space. The CF drops like a cam, bringing CBs out of position. Then the left winger and right winger just cut inside with one touch finesse from outside the box. Defenders will be completely lost. That's movement creating space. Next is midfield overload. With a false 9 and supporting CMs, you dominate the middle. Possession is yours, tempo is yours, quick 1-2s, rotate the ball, the opponent can't catch up. It also has unpredictable attacking patterns. 1-2s, cutbacks, late runs from wingers, through balls from midfield. They never know what's coming. It also gives defensive balance and it's counter-friendly. Even while attacking, your shape stays compact. CDM shields the backline, fullbacks track wingers. Because the CF drops, transitions are quicker. Exploit spaces when opponents overcome it. Timing, positioning, reading the game, that's what makes this formation deadly. Pace doesn't matter, brains win matches. In a for 3-3 false 9, your CBs can't just be tall and strong. They have to be comfortable defending space, because this formation pushes high in possession, and your striker drops into midfield, you will get exposed on counters. If your center backs are slow on the ball, you're going to suffer. You need at least one composed ball playing CB, someone calm under pressure, good at passing, and confident starting build-up. This is a control-based formation. If your defenders panic and just clear the ball every time, you lose the whole purpose of playing false 9. Then your second CB should be your enforcer, strong in tackles, dominant physically, reliable in one-on-one situations, composure plus aggression. That balance is key. Get that right, and everything else becomes easier. Now the fullbacks are even more important in this system, because your wingers cut inside to attack the space created by the false 9. The fullbacks are the ones providing width. They stretch the pitch, they keep the defense balanced. If your fullbacks don't overlap or position themselves properly, your attack becomes too narrow and very predictable. But the mistake most people make is they bomb forward carelessly. They lose the ball, then get countered instantly. So your fullbacks must be balanced. Good stamina, decent pace, smart positioning. They're not just defenders in this formation. They're silent architects of your attack. If you get the backline right, everything else becomes easier. Get it wrong, and the false 9 will feel weak no matter how good your midfield is. Now let's talk about the CDM, and this role is absolutely crucial in the for 3-3 false 9. In this formation, your CDM is the balance. He's the glue between your defense and midfield. Because your striker drops deep and your CMs push forward, there will be moments where the middle feels open. If your CDM isn't disciplined, you'll get punished instantly on counters. Work rate matters a lot here, ideally high or medium-high work rates. He must recover quickly when you lose the ball, but in attack, he stays back. This is important. He is not there to score goals. He is there to protect the structure. This isn't a flashy role. It's about intelligence, positioning, discipline. He needs to read passing lanes, stay compact in front of the CBs, and avoid getting dragged out of position. If he dives into tackles or pushes to high, your backline gets exposed immediately. And on the ball, he must be calm. This is a possession-based system. You'll recycle the ball through him constantly. If he panics or misplaces simple passes, your rhythm dies. But if he keeps it simple, one touch, to touch, reset, your entire team flows better. In this formation, the CDM isn't the star, he's the stabilizer. When he plays his role correctly, everything feels balanced and controlled. Now that to CMs, as we all know, in this formation your striker doesn't always stay up front. The false 9 usually drops into midfield to help with passing and build-up. Because of that, your CMs need to understand when to move forward and attack the space that opens up. For the best balance, one of your CMs should be more of an attacking midfielder type of CM. Someone who is comfortable going forward, creating chances, and taking shots when the opportunity comes. The other CM should be more of a box-to-box midfielder with high work rate. Someone who can help defend, support the build-up, and still arrive in the attack when needed. Both of them should have good passing, decent pace, and good shooting. Because in this formation, your midfielders will sometimes find themselves around the edge of the box, or even inside the box when attacks develop. That's why using purely defensive midfielders here is not the best idea. They might slow your attack down or miss important chances. What really makes this work is movement. When the false 9 drops deep, defenders sometimes follow him, and that creates space in front of goal. If your CMs recognize that space and run into it at the right time, your attack becomes much more dangerous. So the key thing here is balance, one attacking CM, one box-to-box CM with high work rate, and both of them comfortable on the ball. Now let's talk about the front 3. Because this is where the for 3-3 false 9 really becomes dangerous. Starting with the wingers, these players are extremely important in this formation because they will actually become your main goal threats most of the time. Since the false 9 drops deeper into midfield, the wingers are the ones attacking the space behind the defense. That means they should be fast, skillful, and very good at finishing. Natural wingers already work great here. But if you really want to get the best performance, try using wingers that also have striker as an alternative position. Those types of attackers usually focus more on moving forward instead of tracking back too much, which is exactly what you want in this formation. They behave more like inside forwards, constantly attacking the space created by the false 9. Just make sure they have pace, good dribbling, skills, and strong finishing. Because once that space opens, they need to punish the defense immediately. These players here are great examples because they have the pace, attacking mentality, and goal threat needed for this role. Now for the false 9 itself, this is the brain of the attack. The player you choose here should not be a typical striker that only stays inside the box waiting for crosses. Instead, you want someone who is good at passing, dribbling, and linking up play, because this player will constantly drop into midfield to create space and connect the attack. A good false 9 should have great ball control, vision, creativity, and decent finishing. Because even though he drops deeper, he will still arrive in scoring positions. Also try to avoid midfield-minded CAMs. Midfield-type CAMs can slow the attack too much, while pure strikers usually don't have the playmaking ability needed for the false 9 movement. The best choice is usually an attacking cam-type player who is comfortable creating and scoring. Players like Cruyff, Messi, Ronaldinho, or Ginola can work perfectly here because they are skillful, creative, and dangerous around the box. When everything clicks, the false 9 dropping deep, the CMs supporting the attack, and the wingers running into the space behind defenders, this formation becomes very difficult to defend because opponents don't know whether to follow the false 9 or stay in position. And that confusion is exactly what creates your chances. Now let's talk about how to actually use this formation in real match situations. Starting with defense, the for 3-3 false 9 is actually very balanced if you control it properly. You have the back 4, the CDMs sitting in front of them, and the CMs helping to close spaces in midfield. The biggest mistake players make is rushing their defenders out too quickly. When you pull your center backs out of position too early, you immediately create space for through balls. Instead, try to defend with your midfielders first, especially your CDM and CMs. Let them pressure the opponent and block passing lanes before committing your defenders. Your CDM is extremely important here because he acts as the shield in front of the defense. If you keep him positioned well, he can stop many dangerous attacks before they even reach your backline. When the midfield stays compact, the defense behind them becomes much harder to break. Now let's move into the build-up, which is one of the biggest strengths of the 4-3-3 false 9. Because the false 9 drops deeper into midfield, you suddenly gain an extra passing option in the center. Instead of feeling like you only have 3 midfielders, it almost feels like 4 players are involved in the build-up. This makes it easier to play short passes, quick combinations, and triangle passing to move the ball forward. Your CDM can start the build-up, the CM support on both sides, and the false 9 drops into space to receive the ball and link the attack. The key here is patience. Don't rush forward immediately. Move the ball around, keep possession, and wait for the moment when your wingers start making runs behind the defense. Now when it comes to attacking, this is where the false 9 system becomes really dangerous. When your false 9 drops into midfield, defenders often get confused about whether they should follow him or stay in their defensive line. The moment a defender steps out to follow him, it creates space behind the defense, and that's exactly where your wingers attack. Your wingers should be ready to run into that space, receive through balls, cut inside, or combine with the false 9 and the CMs around the box. Because your players are positioned close to each other, you can also create quick 1-2s and short combinations that break defensive lines. That's why this formation is so effective for players who enjoy possession football and intelligent movement. Instead of relying on random crosses or pure pace, you're creating chances by pulling defenders out of position and attacking the spaces they leave behind. Once you understand how to control the midfield, use the false 9 movement and time your winger runs properly. The 4-3-3 false 9 becomes one of the smartest and most unpredictable formations you can use in H2H. Before we end the video, here are 3 quick things to remember when using the 4-3-3 false 9. First, don't rush your attacks. This formation works best when you stay patient and move the ball around until the space opens up. Second, use your CDM properly. He's the balance of the entire team. If you pull him out of position too often, your defense becomes very vulnerable. And finally, watch your winger runs. The moment defenders get dragged out by the false 9, that's when your wingers should attack the space behind the defense. If you master these 3 things, this formation can become extremely dangerous in H2H. Let me know in the comments what formation you want me to break down next. And if this video helped you improve your gameplay, don't forget to like and subscribe for more FC Mobile Masterclasses. And I'll see you in the next one. It's your boy Gentle Joe. Peace.